Assalamu alaikum. What's your name, brother?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. My name is Abrar Basit.
Nice to meet you, brother Abrar. Alhamdulillah, we're honored to have you here in the Islamic Education Foundation. May Allah bless you. So you are a student in which university?
I'm a student in the Islamic University of Medinah.
Medinah Islamic University.
Right. It's in the Medinah Munawwara, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. How many years have you been studying there?
It's been 2 years, alhamdulillah.
Were you living here in Saudi Arabia before that? Or?
Yeah, I was living in India. I just came about it تقريبا 2 years ago.
So you were living in India and somebody introduced the university to you and said apply for it and you came over here. What exactly happened?
I just found out from the internet, yani, listening to some good du'ats and good scholars, that there's a university named Islamic University Medina which produces good students and good scholars. So I just applied, just tried to see what goes on. Just applied from the net, yani, through the internet, alhamdulillah.
Okay, great. Okay, because I mean, I get a lot of emails and a lot of people on Facebook from UK, from India, Pakistan, from USA, Australia, all around. They say, Brother Rayyan, you live in Saudi Arabia. You must have some connections. Please hook us up. I want to apply for this university in Medina, this Islamic university. What are these steps? Now, me personally, I live in Jeddah, which is about 4 hours, a 4-hour drive away from Medina. Right. And I mean, I don't have all the details, the same details a student from Medina University would have. Yes. So tell me exactly, what were the steps that you took? You were living in India. So the first thing you did was what?
The first thing I did was I met some scholars who passed out from the Islamic University of Medina in India. So they told me that the way of admission is through the internet. You have to put your documents. So there are a list of documents which the university website suggests you. That is the passport copy of yours, your passport size photo, Thanawi examination, a certificate yani, of high school, and you have the residential certificate. And you have some known as the medical certificate, and you have to have 2 certificates from 2 scholars in the Islamic University who have already passed from the Islamic, who graduated from the university, known as Tazkiyah wa Tawsiyah. And you have to, like, this person, this student by this and this name, and the son of this and this, lives here and he wants to learn Islam. He has a good Sahih Aqidah and he wants to learn about Kitab Sunnah.
So does he have to be these 2 scholars?
Yes.
Do they have to be senior scholars or any graduate from
Any
Medina?
graduate, they have every graduate have the quotas. So they have, for example, a student passes out, he can get 2 other students, maybe 3 others. So some big scholars have about 10. So they have their own, what you call a quota. According to that, they put the students, introducing this student to the university, because the students, the university doesn't know.
What kind of advice could you give a brother who doesn't have connections? I mean, let's say I'm living in UK and I don't know any scholar who graduated from Medina, but I still want to study there. So, I mean, how am I going to find these scholars and how am I going to apply?
The best thing for a person from the Europe, I would say, from the West, from America, from Britain, the best thing is you come from Umrah. The time when you come from Umrah, you give your offer first hand. You should submit your papers and this is the main thing. Like, you have to submit through the internet. Number 2, you have to do it manually coming to the university. When you come for Umrah, when you give the interview, bi'idhnillah azza wa jal, there's the best way a student can get in.
Without tazkiyah, you don't need the tazkiyah thing.
They have, like the students, there are some ways of getting the tazkiyah from scholars. Because once you come to Saudi Arabia, you will be knowing through dawah centers.
Is it easy to come to Saudi Arabia?
It is easy for those who want to do Umrah, for those who want to, the people wasting money in other things. Alhamdulillah, should save up money, and as a student of knowledge who wants to bring up, who wants to learn about Kitab Sunnah, alhamdulillah, they should spend the money in proper way.
Okay, to sum this up, number 1, I should go to the website and see the requirements and the conditions and provide them with the papers they need.
Exactly.
What is the website?
www.iu.edu.sa, IU Islamic University.edu for education.sa in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so then I apply, I put in the papers and all that. Exactly. Then I should have a plan to come to Saudi Arabia and visit the university again for an interview.
If you don't have scholars, or you're applying it once and it's not happening, if you want if you really want to study die-heartedly, and alhamdulillah, and you should come, I would say, make a visit to, for Umrah. And when you come to Mecca, you should come to Medina and come and visit to the university. If somebody requires help, we are alhamdulillah always there for them. And and they should come and contact us, and we will help them with the paperwork. It's going to be very easy, inshallah.
Inshallah. I like that. It's going to be easy. You see that. It's a positive approach. We shouldn't, feel negative about this and say, oh, Saudi Arabia is too difficult. Why do they make things so hard on us? It's easy, akhi. Look, the brother is from India, and mashallah, it's his second year in Medinah University. Okay, so the first thing he does is he applies on the website. Number 2, he tries to come and visit.
Yes.
Number 3, after he visits, he should wait a year or 2 years probably.
It requires a long span. For example, it takes a year to get in, so you have to wait a year. So for example, there are some students who have wasted the year, I would say, because they were not doing anything, just waiting for it. But if there is a student who has, for example, finished his high school, he should apply his papers and do something else, like for example, bachelor's in accountancy or medical or engineering. When this comes, the admission from the Islamic University, you can come. That's how I did, alhamdulillah. Because waiting for that, and if it doesn't come, it's gonna be a mental stress and a depression. Many students have gone through depressions, and many students have left studying also because of this reason. So I would suggest a student, when he wants to come and really wants to come, bi'idhnillah azza wa jal, and he should first apply his papers. Number 1. Number 2, he should come for umrah if he can, and meet some scholars.
And this same thing, it applies to women also, or is this only for men?
This is with apologies, it's only for the Islamic, it's only for the brothers, Islamic University. But if a brother, if he's married, his wife can study in many of the, for example, they have the Haram, Masjid al-Nabawi. This, I would say, Islamic University of Medina, they have 2 fawaid. Number 1 is in the university. Number 2, you have the durus, the classes in Masjid al-Nabawi, the Masjid al-Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where you can study with the kibar ulama of the world. And for example, you want to learn tafsir of Quran, hadith, wal fiqh, you can all types of field if you want. So a woman, for example, his wife or his sister, can study in the Masjid al-Nabawi. There is a whole university going in Masjid al-Nabawi also.
Okay, good.
So there's a university in Masjid al-Nabawi.
Yeah.
So that's the best.
So to make things easy for the woman should get married.
Exactly.
Then come here with her husband.
That's the best part.
And it'll be easy for her.
It's very easy, inshallah.
MashaAllah. Okay, let's wrap this up with a quote. Did you ever hear the quote, أحب الصالحين ولست منهم?
أيوة.
Could you read this quote to us in Arabic first?
Well, أحب الصالحين ولست منهم. And we want to be like the Salihin. We want to be among the righteous. But when we look at our dhunub, when we look at our sins, we feel very much belittled in front of the Salaf. Because, for example, we have to look at the life of Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah. From Dhuhr to Asr, he sat down to write a letter, a reply, just a letter to some secular, I would say, philosophers. And that letter became a book from Dhuhr till Asr, and we studied in 4 semesters. That's known as the Aqidat al-Wasatiyya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given them barakah.
4 semesters.
It's 4 semesters. It's very long.
It's just a letter.
It's just
he wrote a letter as a response.
The sharh of that, the explanation, many of the ulamas have done till now. It's happening. And when you look at Ibn al-Qayyim al-Zawji, rahimahullah, when you look at his life, the scholars did research. How many papers did he write in one day? It came about 11 to 13 pages a day.
MashaAllah.
Subhanallah al-Azim. And their life, they used to, like Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah used to say, when we wanted to memorize something, they used to fast on that day. And they used to memorize, and they used to practice on what the ayah they were memorizing upon, so that the hills become very much easy, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the help.
Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Your name again?
Abrar Basit.
Do you have a Facebook page or anything like that?
No, I don't have a Facebook.
Do you plan to, after you graduate, inshallah, to expand in da'wah and spread the message, around the world?
This is the duty of every Muslim. Allah says,
أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله
وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. Then who is the best of the human beings? Those who call people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and does amil صالحا, and says, I am from the Muslims.
Allahu Akbar. May Allah make us amongst those.
Ameen.
Jazakallahu khairan, brother. And you just heard of the process and the steps of how to study in Medina University. So don't get sad and don't lose hope. Inshallah, there is always a way. If there is no way and you have waited and you tried over and over, then there are other universities. And if those universities don't work, then you have Islamic Online University of Dr. Bilal Phillips. You have Himma College of Da'wah. That is an online college that you must check out, and make sure that you seek knowledge knowledge for the sake of Allah so you can succeed. Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
في ربوع المجد كنا نرفع النصر المبين ونعيد الحق إن عبد رب العالمين. في ربوع المجد كنا نرفع النصر المبين ونعيد الحق إن عبد رب العالمين. كلنا عون الإله يا إله العالمين. كلنا عون الإله يا إله العالمين.